Hey guys, thanks for checking out my YouTube channel. My name is Mathis and today I'm here to do a book review. Today I'm reviewing The City of Devi by Manil Suri. Now this is his third novel, which was published in 2013. This is my first time reading anything by this author and I did enjoy it. The reason why I decided to pick up this novel is because I was very drawn to this cover art. I thought it was very mysterious and very unique and very cool. So yeah. I give you guys a closer look at it. The spine, the author, the jacket actually comes off, so I'm going to take it off. So this is how it looks. So let me give you guys a brief synopsis of the story. The story takes place in Mumbai, and Pakistan is planning a nuclear strike on India, which throwing everything in chaos. In the midst of all this, the premise is telling two stories. The first story is centered around this Hindu woman. She is overly educated and she desperately wants to get married. She gets introduced to this guy by the name of Karun, and later on they get married and faces some tough challenges along the way. The second story follows this gay Muslim guy by the name of Jazz. He is educated, wealthy, and good looking and enjoys playing the field. He meets Karun and his life comes to a halt. Later on in the story, Karun mysteriously gets kidnapped and Sarita accidentally runs into Jazz, and from there the story unfolds. First, let's talk about the setting. I thought Manil Suri did an excellent job depicting the devastation in the streets of Mumbai. I feel like I was actually walking with Sarita, seeing the buildings on fire, seeing the cars toppled over, seeing the rioting in the streets between the Hindus and the Muslims. In some ways, I feel like there were some World War II elements incorporated in this novel. So yeah, so you get a lot of that feeling as you read along. Now let's talk about the characters. The main character, Sarita, she was very hard to connect with because she was very docile and very naive at times. I mean, she just would do some silly things in the book would make you just want to just shake her a little bit because she was just not getting it. I'm just going to read you guys this passage in this book where Sarita is trying to make love to her husband and he is refusing to do so. So he is very reluctant. He kept his eyes closed but shifted noticeably as my fingers began the expiration of his growing. His entire body tensed as I brushed against his manhood. The contact startled me as well. I waited a moment before trying a tentative stroke. This time he emitted a truncated groan. I almost withdrew, but my sister's voice urged me to continue. One of the partners has to take an active role, she said, and in this relationship is you. Sliding my fingers around, I took Karun's penis in my hand. Sarita, he gasped, and I looked at him. His face was bloodless. His lips chalky, his eyes filled with panic. Stop, I can't, he said, and instantly I released him. I can't, he repeated, and pulling the sunflowers up to his neck, turned towards the edge of the bed. Sarita is trying to make love to her husband and he's just refusing it altogether. He's not having it, like, you know, you stay over there and I stay over here type of thing. And she was just naive. The second character, Karun, he was a very complicated character. He was very neutral in the story in some ways. He found it very hard to come to terms with his sexuality. Karun, he was very into Hindu mythology, and you get a lot of Hindu mythology in this book. Karun, he was very obsessed with the Trinity. The Trinity in this book deals with Shiva, Devi, and Vishnu. So Shiva, he is the god of destruction. Devi, she is the goddess of all goddesses, like the Beyonce of all goddesses. So Devi, she represents peace, protection, and strength. So Vishnu is the god of transformation. He can morph into anything, and in this case Vishnu morphs into a female. So, and he seduces Shiva. I want to read you guys a passage from this book where Karun and Shrita are coming from the movies, and they are discussing Hindu mythology, and Karun is explaining to Shrita how much he enjoys the Trinity. A Shiva needs a Vishnu or Devi to pull him out of his shell so he can engage with the world. A Devi depends on a Shiva or Vishnu to provide her with seed. And poor Vishnu must constantly run after Shiva and Devi to ensure the universe keeps going. More than just pairing up, the universe needs the union of all three. When Shiva, Vishnu, and Devi find each other, when they all coalesce as one, then and only then is the circuit of all the universe complete. It's true power unleashed. So there's like a love triangle going on in this book. I really like how the author interwove Hindu mythology into the romance. I thought it was very clever and ingenious. Third character, Jazz, I thought he was very funny. He basically carried the story and made it a little bit more entertaining. So yeah, his character is really cool. The writing in this book was very interesting. The first half, I would say the first half of this book was very poetic. Then at the end of the story, it became very colorful and very silly in some ways. You can tell he was very heavily influenced in Bollywood. So it took on like a Bollywood flair at the end, and it kind of lost its meaning. The recurrent themes that you get in this book are religious conflict, sexual identity, violence, and sex. So overall, guys, I give this book 3 stars. Even though it lacks substance, it was still entertaining. So that is it. That's my review of City of Devi. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll talk to y'all later. Alright, bye.